Hello everyone, today, I want to share an ancient story that I find incredibly fascinating. It's a story about the Buddha and a phrase that sounds simple but possesses power beyond imagination. We're going to look at how this phrase helps us skillfully sever our greedy attachments. Let's dive straight into the core question. Why is it that simply saying "I don't want it," such a basic phrase, can plant what we call the wholesome roots of liberation? It sounds a bit mystical, doesn't it? Don't worry. That is exactly the most crucial point of our story today, the boy and the offering. Our story begins in the ancient city of Shravasti. Picture the scene. The Buddha is walking down the street when he encounters a young boy. This boy was different. His desires seemed to have no end. Whatever he saw, he wanted. As the son of a Brahmin, his eyes were glued to something in the Buddha's hand, an offering called a laddu, a sweet treat that looked absolutely delicious. You can imagine that at that moment, his mind had only one thought: wow, I want that, I must have it. Without a second thought, he rushed up to the Buddha and blurted out, "Give it to me." His reaction was a raw reflection of a deeply ingrained habit, the Buddha's strange condition. But the Buddha's response was unexpected. He didn't just hand over the food. Instead, he proposed a condition that sounded a bit strange, even contradictory. The Buddha said gently, "How about this? First, say the words 'I don't want it.' As soon as you say that, I will give this to you immediately." Think about it, the boy's heart was set on that treat. So, without hesitation, he complied, said the words, and successfully received the food. A test of greed. You might think the story ends there, but it doesn't. At that moment, a wealthy elder who had witnessed the whole exchange stepped forward with an even more startling offer. He said to the boy, "Little brother, if you give that food back to the Buddha, I will give you 500 coins. 500 coins. The boy's eyes lit up. Thinking there was a much bigger gain to be had, he was overjoyed. Without a word, he handed the laddu back to the Buddha and ran off happily with the money. Why "I don't want it" matters. What was the deeper meaning behind this strange interaction? What was the Buddha actually doing? The monks nearby were just as confused as we are, so they asked the Buddha for an explanation. The Buddha explained, "Don't just see him as a little boy. His greed is a habit, vasana, that has followed him for hundreds and thousands of lifetimes. Throughout countless cycles of reincarnation, his life pattern has been the same. See something, want it, and react with 'give it to me.' He had never once said 'I don't want it' in all those lifetimes. Do you see it now?" The act of the Buddha guiding him to say "I don't want it" was the planting of a wholesome root, a crucial seed of renunciation and letting go. This created a powerful contrast. In the past, he was bound by the thorns of his own habits. But under the Buddha's guidance, he made a different choice for the first time. This was a pivotal turning point, opening a brand new possibility for his life. The Buddha then prophesied that because of this seemingly small act, in the distant future when the King of Mountains Buddha appears, this boy will leave home to practice and eventually attain the stage of Arhat, the wisdom of skillful means. Now, let's discuss an important concept. Skillful means a pile. Some might wonder, wait, the boy wanted that in his heart. To say he didn't with his mouth isn't that lying. Why would the Buddha teach someone to lie? This is a great question. The answer lies in skillful means. It's not about deception. It refers to the Buddha's supreme wisdom to use the most appropriate method for a specific person to lead them toward enlightenment. The key is that the boy followed the Buddha's instructions 100%. In Buddhism, the Buddha is considered the most fertile field of merit. Simply being obedient and following those instructions creates immense power enough to break a cycle of greed that had lasted for years. Vows and compassion. Even if our own resolve is weak, we can be carried by a greater force, the vows of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This boy's path to liberation was pushed along by the Buddha's vow to save all beings. While every Buddha has great vows like Medicine Buddha's 12 vows, or Amitabha Buddha's 48 vows, Shakyamuni Buddha made 500 great vows specifically for those of us in this world where greed, anger, and ignorance are particularly heavy. How to apply this today? How do we use this wisdom to deal with our modern attachments? There is a powerful perspective on patience, Xanti. Usually, we think of it as enduring or bottling things up. But the sutras give it a more active meaning, recognition. When something frustrating happens, don't just endure it blindly. Use wisdom to recognize why it is happening. From this, we can derive a 3-step process to sever attachment. Recognize the moment that greedy thought or attachment arises. Notice it, there it is. Transform once you notice it. Consciously try to let go or shift the thought. Act like the boy. Perform a small virtuous act or make a small vow to plant a new wholesome root. As the Amitabha Sutra says, one cannot be born in that land with few wholesome roots, merits, and causal connections. Every tiny positive action counts. A closing thought. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. In your life right now, is there something you feel you must have? Can we use the Buddha's wisdom to skillfully transform that must-have into a powerful I don't want it? Perhaps that is the beginning of planting your own seed of liberation. Thank you for listening.